Mm. Thank you so much, Dr. Ndlo. Thank you so much, Dr. Choga also. And I count it a privilege to be here and seeing Professor Matema is a pleasure. I've known him many years, many days without number. Allow me to speak on what I was assigned, the pastor and 5G. And before I get there, I would just want to say something on Pastor's Appreciation Day. And it's just a small message titled, "A Pastor is a Gift."
You're welcome. Go ahead.
In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 10, 11, 12, and 13, Apostle Paul writes to the church in Ephesus, and he says that he who descended is the very one who ascended higher than all the heavens in order to fill the whole universe. Then he says, so Christ himself, placing emphasis, gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and the teachers to equip his people for works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we reach unity in faith in the knowledge of the Son of God. My perception here, my fellow pastors, is that as Christ was doing his business of salvation, ascending and descending for the sake of our salvation, he had a church that he had left. And Christ thought that as he goes about his business, he has a gift that he will leave the church to have. And among the gifts that he packaged to give the church, he gave the church a pastor. And I look at myself and I look at pastors as a gift from Christ to the church. Christ himself gave it. It's like he's leaving, going, he's saying, I will come back. But while I'm away, this gift, use it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would wish that on this day that we need to be appreciated as we appreciate ourselves, that we look at ourselves as a gift from Christ to the church. When you buy a gift, you go select it yourself. And with the recipient in mind, you package it and send it. Christ had the church in mind when he selected me and selected you. And he packaged us. He packaged us together with our spouses. And he packaged us with certain talents and abilities. He even packaged us with certificates from school. And then he sent us to the church as a package that Christ himself has put together. In this package is the pastor, the spouse, the children, the abilities, the shortcomings, the challenges. All of them are in a package from Christ to the church. It is possible that as pastors, we end up where we are through painful political processes that the brethren eventually in their maneuvering send us, but nevertheless, God allowed it to happen. So we are there as a package from Christ to the church, whatever station we find ourselves. As Samuel was told, we too should know that if members reject the pastor, they are rejecting the giver of the gift, because it is Christ who gave the gift to the church. So when the church says they don't like the pastor, when the church criticizes the gift, they are criticizing the giver. It's like I give you the gift of a Bible, and you start looking at it and say, black is not good, you should have brought a brown one, or this Bible is not big enough, I don't like it. While you are criticizing the gift, that, the letters are in small print, I don't like it, you are actually speaking not about the gift, but the giver of the gift. And so we must comfort ourselves as Samuel was comforted, that the church needs to be aware, and Christ is aware, that when they are dealing with us, they are actually dealing with God. And that should comfort us, because we are just a gift that God has given to the church. And so God has packaged us for service. He packaged a spouse for me, a spouse for you. that has shaped our ministry. Our spouses should also know that God packaged them in this one package that went to the church. Our children were packaged to go to the church. And so maybe that's just my appreciation statement. And I say that may God help us to be the best gift to the church from Christ. I want to appreciate every pastor. We celebrate you because pastors have brought us up. I'm a pastor's child. I'm a pastor's son. I have grown up through pastors. I've been trained by pastors. I've been taken to school by pastors. And so we want to appreciate you, pastors. We celebrate you in many ways until the master comes to celebrate you himself. Happy Pastor's Day, my fellow colleagues in ministry. Allow me now.
What does the church say?
Yeah.
Wait, Pastor, what does the church say?
Amen. Okay.
Amen. I didn't hear the amen. Let me hear it again. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thank you so much. Now, allow me to say something about the pastor and 5G compliance. 5G compliance. Now, 5G is a network that we are using. The internet network has been numbered. There is 2G, there is 3G. Currently, the most popular across the world is 4G, but 5G is being rolled in. And there are two major things I want to say that break it down. The first one, my colleagues, is that end time crisis for believers will be about remaining faithful to God and not about vaccines and internet networks. In some localities in the world, including where I am, there is a group of believers who think and who believe that 5G is part of fulfillment of prophecy that is going, that by accepting 5G, we are accepting the mark of the beast. There is no such thing in scripture and in Bible prophecy. It is important to be clear about these things. There are so many church members out there who seem that they know so much. And I've noticed that sometimes they silence us pastors and we are shy to dig into the word and give a response to what they say. So they come up with so many passages from online. They come up with so many quotations from various authorities. And then eventually, after they have spoken for long, loudly, and seemingly more educated, sometimes we shy away and allow them to carry the day, thinking that 5G is coming as also the mark of the beast. I think we are students of the word. When people take us to authorities in science, authorities in politics, authorities in other things, we must go back to where we are authorities, Logos, the word of God, because we are students of this word. We must preach this word. We must go back and preach the same prophecies. It is a sad situation that when we talk of 5G today in many of our churches, members ask questions not related to evangelism on 5G, but questions related to, is this 5G going to implant chips against our will? Are we going to find ourselves as zombies following the beast and bowing to Vatican? I think it is time we ourselves convinced ourselves so that we can go to the church with a sure message. We are students of the word and we must stand for that word. Let us preach the word and not geopolitics as found on social media and conspiracy theories. Because when people end up fearing, decisions made out of fear are not the decisions that Christ called us to take from the people. Our gospel is not fear-mongering, but calling people to salvation. It is decisions we are asking for eternity. And we must help the church. We must study the word. We can even come together as pastors. If you find that you have a weakness, you can reach out to a colleague and say, I need to address this issue. There is somebody who has taught the church this, and I feel it's not right. And when we put our heads together, we are able to come up with answers that will guide the church. Or else we have so many lay people out there who are so ambitious and they are ready to make huge mistakes, and they will not apologize when they are proved wrong. For them, life goes on as usual. And so that's the one thing I needed to say about 5G, because it's one of the prevailing thoughts when we mention 5G. The second one I will mention is that the Great Commission tells us to go into the world and preach the gospel. And so when the world was in the village, we preached in villages. When the world went to the city, we preach to the cities, and we have a responsibility to take the message to urban areas. And when the world finds itself in the marketplace, we put up our pulpit in the marketplace and we preach the gospel at the marketplace. When the world discovered radio and went on radio, we were not left behind. We woke up, rose up to the occasion, and we developed Adventist World Radio, and we went into shortwave preaching the gospel because the world had gone to radio. Because the master said, go ye into the world. Go into the world and preach the gospel. Go there and tell them what I've said. And so where the world goes, we follow them with the gospel. When the world goes to radio, we arrive in radio with Adventist World Radio. Among many other FM stations that are all over across the world that are preaching the gospel. And so when the world went into TV, television, and satellite, we were not left behind. We rose to the occasion, and Hope Channel was born. And we are all over Hope Channel across Africa, across the world, preaching the word. And satellite preaching came about. And many private individuals who support the ministry of the church came up with satellite preaching. And there was a time when satellite dishes were all over churches, as there was a download of messages that were coming from across. What am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? The master said, go ye into the world. And wherever the world went, we have followed them with the gospel. We were not left behind. While others were saying, yeah, be careful, TV is not good. And we have some of our church members, out of good intentions, they don't have even a television in their house. If only one day they discover that the television can be tuned so that it only shows what you want. If only one day they discover that you can actually program the channels so that you only view what is appropriate. If they discovered that it can also be an evangelism tool, it will get better. But for now, they don't have television. But as a church, we discovered majority of the world is on TV. Advertisers have gone on TV because they know that's where the masses are. And that is where we carry the gospel. We take it to the TV. Now that the world has gone online, now that the internet has spread all over and we have access to internet through our mobile phones and other gadgets, now that everyone has ability to access, you don't need a lot of resources where you need a union or a conference or a division to come together to put resources so that they can access this channel. This channel now is different from radio and TV. You don't even need two individuals to come together. By yourself, you can get into online and preach the gospel. What are you waiting for? Now that we have this platform, radio came, we may not have had resources as individuals. The church went in radio. TV came, we went in TV. Satellite came, we went in. Now online has come and you are connected to the internet through your gadget, through your laptop. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for an action from an executive committee? Jump in obedience to the Great Commission and use the platform for the glory of God. And so allow me to mention a few online realities in the ministry online. And allow me to mention that internet is the network that connects the whole world. And when you are online, you are as real as you are in person. Even if you are hidden in a corner and you are in your phone that is active online, it is as good as standing in the middle of the market and everyone is passing, seeing you and hearing you. When you bear that in mind, it will inform your etiquette online and when you engage in the ministry online. Once you are alive online, you are not hidden. You may be alone in the middle of 100 acres of land, but you are not alone. The whole world is with you. And so, when you are online, act online, even dead at night, as one who is in public, with everyone seeing and listening. Ladies and gentlemen, there are things that are very dangerous if they show us online. Nude pictures, naked pictures, sex messages, and etc. should be a no anywhere online. They should not even be there in a pastor's life. Even if you are sending to your wife who is abroad pursuing further studies, anything that can be hacked, you know, your phone can be hacked in many ways. There are many ways of hacking. One is somebody finding your password and you are hacked and they get into your gadget and they upload everything that is there. Those things should be a no. Because you may accidentally upload the material. And I want you to know, once anything is uploaded online, you can delete it here, but you have not deleted it wherever it has gone. So what do we say? Whenever you are online, whether for ministry or otherwise, have the presence of mind. Be active knowing that you are in public. Be as careful as when you are walking in the middle of a city street that you know there are pickpockets, muggers, and there are so many active things going on. Have a similar presence of mind. Because some of the, for example, apps cannot delete. You may send something by mistake on WhatsApp, then it says delete for everyone, and you delete. But there are certain apps of WhatsApp that you are deleting does not delete from the person who has got that app. You may be having a small disagreement with your spouse on whether it was John or Jonah who was swallowed by the fish, assuming those are the quarrels we have with our spouses. And so you are saying some very harsh words to your spouse. If accidentally those words go to a WhatsApp group instead of going to your spouse because you are either forwarding or just typing without presence of mind, it can ruin your ministry. Because one, people take screenshots. After a screenshot, they forward it, they send it around, they get a picture of you online, they attach it to the message, and within a short time, everybody knows that you had a quarrel with somebody, and these are the words you spoke. Have the presence of mind when you are online. It's a dangerous world. It's a dangerous world because when you are in private, you think you are alone, but in reality, the whole world is just hovering there, and you go in by mistake, it's done. And you need to know that the internet never forgets. Nothing that went into the internet has been forgotten. You can delete it from where you are, but somebody will show you another day, because once it goes into the internet, it cannot be forgotten. So if there's anything we need to put into the internet, it's the gospel. Do online that which you don't mind if it is remembered forever. And so since online is an active real world, be apolitical. Don't have political biases when you are online as pastor. Because since it's a real world, the people seeing you know that this is our pastor. Don't give political sentiments. Don't discriminate against people, because there are people watching. They may never tell you, but they get offended and they may leave the church because of that. The same pressure that we get in real world is the same pressure we get online. Even when you use different names, there are people who are able through processes to find out who you actually are. And so let us be alive. And when we are there, let us be aware that this is a platform God has given us. And since God has given us, let's not shy away. By the way, everything internet and computers were designed to be user-friendly. We may have a little fear because we think we will spoil everything. There is nothing that will get spoiled, by the way. Just comfort yourself. Nothing will go wrong. Even if you delete something, it can be revived back. So don't approach it with a lot of trembling. I don't want to spoil anything. You spoil something. Spoil something. Don't say you don't want to spoil anything. Spoil it, then ask somebody to revive it. It will be done. That is the best way to learn. But if you shy away, this is not a car you are afraid that you will hit somebody else. Make mistakes, learn, and keep going. The mistakes of learning are allowed. And so there are several platforms that we can use for preaching. For example, YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account. All you have to do is activate it, and in 24 hours, it will be ready. Upload any material there. You can sing, you can pray, and it will remain permanently there. And all that happens is that people can subscribe, can follow. There is Facebook. There is Facebook Live. You can preach on Facebook. You can sing on Facebook. It's a platform available to all of us. You pay nothing except accessing it. Then there are websites. You can open a website and blog there every day. At least I have a blog I write every day. Blog there every day. Of course, there are fees now for websites. You have to pay for a website, pay for it annually. But why not? Do the ministry. There are Twitter accounts where you can put a short message, put it online, and let the members see it and respond to it. This is our pastoral work. There is Instagram that does photos. You can put a picture with one short message and people get it. And more platforms are coming up every other day. There is no end. So yours is just to be willing to upload material. But I want you to know, my colleagues in ministry, that the online world is ruthless. So have a thick skin and do the best and most reliable pastoral work. If you preach a bad sermon online, it will have 2 views. 2 views. Nobody will want to look at it. They even have an opportunity where you can give a sermon a thumbs up or thumbs down. And there are members with audacity. Since they know you don't have skill enough to identify them, they will give you a thumbs down. You will preach a sermon and it has 55 thumbs down and 1 thumbs up. Probably your relative. It's a ruthless world. You must have a thick skin. And then do your best. The best of pastoral work. Because now when you go online, you have the whole world watching. Anyone can access anything online. If today you wanted to access my YouTube page, from wherever you are, you will access it now. It's not bound by location. If you want to access the blog I write, you will access it now. So what does that mean? Preach well. This is where you must be very sure that you understand the theology of the church. Because you preach heresy, that sermon will not only reach the members and ruin them, it will also reach the executive committee that hires and fires. And then make sure that you do your best so that the numbers can show. Because, we are used to a situation where we preach to a church and our members are faithful. They always say, powerful message, Pastor. Powerful message. Oh, it was powerful. Even when you know it was not powerful, they tell you powerful, Pastor. It was powerful. But online, they don't tell you powerful. Online, you look at the numbers. Good sermon, 1,000 views. Sermon that is neither here nor there, 3 views. Ruthless. So you must just do your best, or the answers will be right there for you to see. We may not, again, when we go into the online world, we are disadvantaged, ladies and gentlemen. We may no longer copy each other's sermons. Because you preach the sermon and somebody will upload in the comments and say, this same message was preached by Pastor Kumalo. While you are preaching, it's uploaded there. And the person can even bring a link and attach it there and say, this is the original sermon by Pastor Kumalo right here. Please follow. And so the pressure for us to perform what we learned at the university in sermon preparation must now come to bear, because we must prepare sermons. Now we can't even repeat our sermons. I've been running around on camp meetings the last few weeks, and I was so tired when I went to the last camp meeting, and I told myself that I'm going to just repeat one sermon as at the beginning, so that after I rest a day or two, I can develop new sermons. And as we were in the vestry, the elder tells me, Pastor, I really thank God for your ministry. The sermon you preached 2 days ago in the other camp really touched me. And that's the sermon I was carrying in my tablet to go and preach. This is the world we are living in. Only that this time somebody told me. What if the person had not said? I would have gone there repeating again the same sermon. Now there is a pressure for us even to prepare fresh sermons continuously. We can't copy, they must remain fresh. Something else I will mention, colleagues, as I wind up this presentation, is that we need to visit members online. Our members are online. When our members are bereaved today, before they tell you, they post online, I have lost my grandmother. And you know how the old online world responds? They comment there, sorry, we are sorry for that, we are sorry for that. And can you imagine that every Tom, Dick, and Harry is there saying sorry, but the pastor is not there? And this is where the member goes later on in their pain. They scroll through as they see who said sorry. A pastor must be present even online to visit members when they are bereaved. Apart from visiting them physically, visit them. Because you'll notice they will say, thank you, pastor. They have noticed that you visited them online. When their children have got events which they will never tell you, they will post it online. My daughter just turned 5. Oh, my daughter has done very well in class. And then she even puts pictures of the daughter and what have you. That one will never come in church. You may never hear about it. If you are not online to visit members and appraise them, you will be missing in the life of your members. It is time that since the church has gone online, the pastors must be present and aggressively there. We must be there, commenting on the, mourn with them, rejoice with them. But now, pastors, I have something to say. Online can be addictive. This thing can be addictive. Once you get it properly, you can be addicted. So what do? Decide from the beginning what time you deal with this. And you know what what time? For myself, I've chosen that I wake up in the morning after doing my morning prayers. Before the people wake up, I go and respond to all messages on WhatsApp, respond to all the issues on Facebook and other social media platforms, then I get out. Why? Because I discovered when I do it during the day, as I'm trying to reply, somebody comes in, oh, Pastor, I see you online. How are you? Another one, Pastor, I see you online. How are you? So I get engaged beyond the time I had. So I wait for the time when they are sleeping. I read their messages, respond, read their messages, respond, read their messages, respond. It takes me 20 minutes and I'm done. Until the next day again, I will show up online, unless I'm waiting for a message, so that I don't end up getting addicted to this thing, because addiction is a form of illness. So set aside the time and be available online for your members. If they are not saying anything, throw in a word. The first 3 months, nobody will notice you are there, or they will not be sure if you are there. But after that, somebody will say, I like it, Pastor. Oh, amen. Oh, hallelujah. Now you have been welcomed to the online world. Allow me to say second last that get technical help, but do the theology well. Get technical help. Many boys and girls have got abilities on running this online business. Get their technical help. And I have so many people who are assisting me technically. So many people. When I'm stuck somewhere, I just give a phone call, they help me. But I must do the theology well. Get the technical help, but do the theology well. Finally, I say this, friends. The world has gone 5G. Let's take the gospel to 2G, 3G, 4G, and even 5G. If that is where they are, he has sent us, the master has sent us to go into the world. Let's go. Let us be as wise as serpents, but as humble as doves. Even when we are attacked by characters, let's not respond. You know, online there are people who can hide their identity and attack you as pastor and say things about the SDA church. Be humble like a dove. May the Lord bless you so much. Thank you for listening. I believe we can now have an interaction to this. Thank you once again, Dr. Ndlovu.
Thank you so much, Pastor. I think this is something, man. This I like the balance that you are bringing, that we must be present. And that is very important for any pastor. Members want us to be present, whether physically or online. As the brethren, our brothers and sisters are preparing to come back to you, I like that you are bringing the balance of, because this technology can also take us away from the church, where the pastor is online and not physically visible. And the members are saying, where is the pastor? You know, with this COVID-19, there was a challenge of pastors interacting directly with the members. But maybe we need to be creative, like you said, so that we are not missing. I think that point you underscored it. We mustn't be missing. We must know we're part of the community. We're part of them. They must not miss us when they are happy and even when they are sad. Okay, let's talk to this. Can I see the hands of those who want to contribute, whether you want to add or you want to ask questions on this subject? Very, very important subject, by the way. There's no going back on this issue of technology. There's no going back. We wish it would go back, but here we are. We need to learn, and we need to, go where the world is than where the church is. Do I see a hand? Yes, Dr. Matema.
I want to thank Dr. Kesis from the bottom of my heart for hitting the nail on the head. What we are going through should make us realize that is either going to make us maximize on the opportunities that we have, or we are going to just perish with the cry of, what can we do? This has happened, is beyond my power. Dr. Kesis has made it very, very clear that we have to maximize on the opportunities, seize the opportunities, and bring the good news and advance the mission of God. I am convinced that's the view of ministry that we should keep always in our hearts, in our minds, so that it informs everything we do. We live in a world that is creatively evil, and we should also be becoming creatively good all the time. So I thank you, Ray. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Asante sana. Mungu akubariki sana.
Thank you, Prof. God bless you.
Thank you. Asante. Okay, any other contributions to that? I want to hear from you, pastors and shepherdesses there. Let's talk to this. It's very, very critical. Let's talk to this subject.
Maybe if they are thinking of what to say, they can tell us what they are doing. We can learn from each other. I mean, what are you guys doing online as pastors? How are you doing your pastoral work online?
My comment is on the young people. This is the generation that we are losing in the church, and they are stuck right there on the internet, and this is where we can basically find them. And when we are doing programming for them, we should be able to understand their language and talk theologically sound issues, utilizing their language and reaching to them, utilizing where they are, so that we are able to move from where they are and bring them to where we want them to be without necessarily condemning them. These millennials that we are having, they are right there. Plenty of them are on these social media platforms. And I think we need to transcend from level where when these things came, we thought these are devilish. But this is a platform, okay, that can be used by the devil. That is true. But we also need to be sure that this is a platform that God can be glorified from. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Tube. Do you have a comment, Dr. Kesis, on what he has said?
Yeah, I will say that, as he has said, the devil can use it. Internet is like a market. Anyone can come there. People come to sell, come there. Not good for listening. Let's go to that market. Let's preach in that market. So that's my thinking. I see there's somebody who has raised their hand.
Okay. Pastor Numalo, please go ahead. Numalo, unmute and talk to us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ndlovu, and all of my colleagues. There is also a need probably to understand the ground from which one is working, especially when you are trying to implement discriminatory rules or enactments as a pastor. I think that point it gives some challenges.
Pastor Nkumalo, did you finish your comment? It seems
Yeah.
I didn't seem to get it.
Yes.
Come again, Numalo. Yes.
I think there is also a challenge where one has to apply himself where there are discriminatory laws or rules or enactments by institutions that govern. There's a pastor expected not to be. I think that poses a big challenge for a pastor. We can navigate when you get to that kind of a thing. It's only God's us praying to God earnestly to go through. If there is some advice, we could appreciate the point.
Thank you so much. I think the point we are trying to say is that we are supposed to be clear on our position, but when it comes to being online, we cannot be seen to be outright maybe favoring one side of an argument that is going on, particularly if it is not a directly spiritual issue affecting members. For example, if I disagreed with my conference or my union or the university where I work, I cannot come and discuss the disagreements I had with the leaders online. It's not professional, because after the issues are settled, my arguments and complaints will remain online. That's why we say that sometimes some of these things, the politicians may take sides or an issue may be divisive now, but those same groups that are divided will unite in the next 1 year. But your harsh comments may be available online still in future. So we need wisdom to really self-control, particularly when something is quite emotional and pushing us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I see your hand is still up, Pastor Numalo. Are you done?
I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other contribution to us and technology? And Pastor Kesis, I'm just thinking, that now you have a database of members. You can have your members in your gadget, like you said, and that should make our work easy. Right now, we are talking to you down there in Kenya. I don't know how much I used to pay to go to AUA to get you come down here, but you are right there, thousands of miles from where I am. We can talk. I think like Dr. Matema said, if we don't stand up, we'll perish.
That's true.
I heard somebody speak about this on from an economic point of view. He said those businesses that don't embrace 5G, they will perish. They will be relevant. And so I don't think we want pastors to be relevant. When members begin to ask, do we really need a pastor or robots can pastor us? You know, because if they don't see the value we add to their well-being here and the well to come, they will start questioning whether we are really relevant to their salvation and their success. So I think we need to think seriously about how we can remain on the cutting edge and do the ministry. You know, it's, by the way, when we were taught a solution, I don't know what you call it at Baraton, the computers, they used to have that course. There's 111 and 1112. I protested that solution. I told them, no, I've come for the Bible. I don't want these worldly things. But I said, Pastor, you have computer literacy is part of the package now. Anywhere you go, you check in your seat for a plane in your house. You check your seat there while you're in your house. And I know so many things are computerized now. So it's something that all of us, even those of us who are not millennials, like Pastor Tuba was talking about, the young people, and you know, they are the majority in the church. If we're missing that generation, what are we having? What are we pastoring? We may find ourselves being irrelevant, you see. So I think it's important for us to not to, you know, kind of run away into the forest and hide and wait for Jesus to come, but to kind of find how we can still be relevant within this age of technology and the rapid changes that are taking place around us.
And yeah, Pastor, you know, there is the issue of meetings now with the Zoom. You can have church boards any hour. You can have church board with several churches in the same day, you know, straight. And it has made our work easy. Instead of traveling 20 kilometers for one agenda, that agenda can be done. And evangelism is moving there too. So we are moving classes to this platform. In Baraton, we are doing blended learning. Every unit we are teaching is taught physically and is taught online at the same time, because the learning now is shifting into online. So church business also needs to move there. Midweek prayer meetings. Why wait for people to come from work when they are not able to? They can follow the meeting as they travel home. So these are great opportunities for us as pastors.
Actually, Pastor, what I heard on that platform was of much interest to me when this guy was speaking about it in the context of Zimbabwe. He was saying one of the things that needs to be locked to be cheapest is data. Because you go to, I went to the Jordan, you are in a bus, you can access internet on a bus. In a shop, you access internet. So I think for years to come, whether we like it or not, this has to be in a shop anywhere. You must be able to access internet. And that means that you can communicate with anybody, anywhere. So I know some people are listening to me, Pastor Kesis, are really wondering this man. Well, there are some people who know I was allergic to WhatsApp. My wife prayed actually to get me on WhatsApp. She went to the prayer bed to pray. My young brother forced me to go on WhatsApp. But now, like Paul, I'm more zealous than those who were there before. So I think it's time for all of us to embrace this in a positive way, so that it can enhance our ministry and it can be on the cutting edge. Okay. Any other hand on this issue?
Can I throw in a comment?
Yes, brother. Go ahead.
While I thank the presenter, I thank her for a beautiful presentation, I just want to add something about these gadgets. They help in ministry in a lot of ways. a pastor can belong to several groups of his members, divide them into groups, relate to them on a personal way. And then I tried that and I found that members like that and they enjoy it. And so many subjects are covered on this one gadget. And then you can also minister to individuals with individual problems. And I'm saying, if even myself, I can be able to gain from using my gadget on internet. It's so useful, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be exposed and begin to like it, as Dr. Love is saying. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my elder. I appreciate that. I'm more zealous than all those who were there before, like Paul. Yeah.
But then there's a problem there, Dr. Love. The problem that I've realized is that sometimes members tend to be more dependent on us, like my husband. He's a retired now. They will be more dependent on him than their own pastor in the church. That's fair. Because they'll want him for those meetings, they want him for their prayer bands, they want him for, you name it, because he's almost always on the phone, on WhatsApp, and he's helping them with this and that. I'm just asking. Because let me complain, these are all pastors here. When we were younger, I raised my children by myself. You guys won't be there. You're up and down looking after the flock and stuff, but now I need him here. Our children are born and we're just two, and then he's busy with the flock again.
Maybe
you need to tell me how is it, because I'm coming there. How is it? It looks sweeter.
Let me comment on that one. The good part of it is the local pastor and I become very close friends. And then the pastor involves me in quite a lot of things. There's a funeral there, there's baptism there, there's a problem in that family. He's with the head elder to say, please come and help us. Please. And I'm always ready because I'm in charge of my own time.
We appreciate that.
But I don't leave it behind.
Thank you. No, I think we appreciate that very, very much. That the pastor, I remember during the COVID, the lockdowns, the real lockdowns. You remember the lockdowns? Mm-hmm. Members were depending on from everywhere. Pastor, I don't know whether Dr. Kesis, did you head Kekli when you grew up?
Oh, yes.
Maybe you grew up as a town boy.
We did.
You did, yeah?
Yes.
And my father used to tell us, when you had Kekli, he would draw a map for us to say, take them to this place, and for drinking, take them to this place. He knew the place. So I'm saying that maybe it becomes very important, Dr. Kesis, for us as pastors, like you were saying, to shepherd your flock. That even if others are helping you, but you, when you are there, even my own, your own Kekli will know you. And my wife has got some small chickens here that she's keeping. When I go there, they make a lot of noise. They are scared of me. They don't know me. She feeds them every day. They know her. When I go there, I'm a stranger. When I go there, I need to carry some stress pack because they are stressed. They don't know me. So I think it becomes important for us as pastors. Let us be there with our members. Let them smell the shepherd. The shepherd must smell like the sheep, and they will know that you are there for them. Yeah, let me stop there.
Maybe what we can say is sometimes it is possible when I leave one district to another, the members in the other district may still like me, and they may be still calling me to their groups and what have you. I think pastoral ethics that is in the minister's handbook should apply. that when I leave a district, I should help the members adjust to the new pastor. It is important. And it is also important that we work with I've been doing 5 a.m. prayers for a group in South Africa. But again, some people invited me from the same and said, oh, we are part of this. Please, can you also come and speak to us? And I said yes, but on second thought, I decided to find out, only to discover that there are people who left the church. And so I was almost identifying myself with a wrong group. And so it is necessary in this world also not to forget our ethics about your successor, your predecessor, and drawing those boundaries, because that can damage ministry. And I know our policy people in the executive secretary's office will soon have to sit down and put a paragraph or two. Now that the church is shifting online, we will need a few sentences to guide the church, or else you will wake up one morning and I've been preaching to your congregation and you have no idea, and somebody. So some guidelines will be necessary at some point. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we appreciate that. We appreciate that very much. Yes. I'm trying to check how much time we have here. We still have time, I think. It's time up. Okay. I think we have exhausted that. Thank you so much, Dr. Kesis, for your time. Yeah, like Mr. Stoller was saying, he needs to go and be with family, and we appreciate that. So anytime you feel free to move out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. And asante sana.
Asante sana. God bless you. I'll run out to take care of family issues. The Lord bless every one of you in the conference, the UnionConference.
Amen. 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 Thank you so much. God bless you. We want to welcome Dr.